Dan here, under a lip DD speed shop.
That was very loud.
I'm relaxed. Is this the first time we've been under this car?
Yep.
So we're back from our big road trip.
Our big road trip.
What a lot of miles on that little Chevy too. We actually...
Which is weird because you can't actually drive a gasser across the country.
No, tunnel around gasser, you can't drive that.
Impossible.
What is this?
What is with this one fly that is in this place?
Just throwing it out there, I have been out here all day and there wasn't one fly bothering me. Just saying. So we put a bunch of miles on that hot rod. We drove, so it's in Manitoba now. We left it there. Are you happy with the camera? You're staring at it like you want to make some changes.
No, I don't want to make any changes. Just the shadow on you you're very dark. So I'll try to edit that in post, I guess.
Let me just adjust this fancy lighting we got right from the retailer.
Yeah. My side looks fine. Your side, though, is all dark.
I guess I'm just not glowing today. But yes, we drove that thing from Calgary to Winnipeg, hung out there for a couple days. I worked for a little bit, saw Murr, drove down to Lincoln, hung out there for like a day and a half, and turned around and drove all the way back. So we put 2,300 miles, I think, on the thing in less than a week, of which that happened in 3 days. So really, that's a lot of miles.
Yes, it was a long time in that car.
It was all good till the ride home. I started coming apart the last 3 hours.
I feel like coming apart is a very good description of what just
Well, you know, the
happened.
problem was, so we hung out, we did whatever, we did the car show and everything at Speedway, and then it was probably like 4 o'clock, and it was like, do we hang out and then drive all day the next day, or do we start making miles? And I was like, well, let's just start making miles. So we got in, we were jamming, and then you get to the point, so it was like a 10 or 11 hour drive home, and we were like 7 or 8 hours into the drive, and you're like, are we gonna stop and shut her down this
Well, at
close?
that point, it's like 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. So then by the time you check into a hotel, like you're paying for nothing because you'd have to
Yeah.
leave at like 5 in the morning the next morning. So what's the point?
Well, we could have slept in, but whatever. But anyway, so we kept going, and it was all good, and then the car fell apart in Fargo. So I had to mess with it there, which was lame.
What happened?
The exhaust fell off, and the alternator,
Oh, right.
it chucked the belt there. So we had to fix that, and that was fine. Actually, we used bolts that we got from Rick on the last
Because we
Actually, I
learned
gotta
that
text him
lesson.
that the same thing, the alternator fell off, and we got borrowed some bolts off a friend, Old Time Garage, Rick, and then I left them in the little toolbox, and that toolbox was in the Chevy too, and then we used more bolts to fix the same problem.
Why is this the continuous problem? Because we've never had this issue before with the alternator
Well, the
falling off.
55 that broke, the bolt sheared, which
Yeah.
I don't know what that was about. And then this one, you know what, looking back at the situation, remember I said that the alternator was loose and I tightened the bracket, but I didn't think to tighten the adjuster.
Oh.
So I just left it. And the problem is this has this Amazon kind of unit that has like a low slung thing, and I see what happened now is I didn't have a washer on the bolt, so it kind of was a little goofy on the adjuster because it has to have some slack in it for adjustment. And then the only washers I had were big washers, and then that thing has kind of like this giant, I don't know what the heck alternator it is, but it's one that doesn't have fins. It has like like a big disc that's a fin, so whatever. Didn't really work out. I'm sure I could have messed with it, but it was also 1 o'clock in the morning at the gas station. So I just kind of ramrodded it tight. Then we kept going, which is all fine until we got to the border. Shut her down.
Which is already like just a nerve-wracking thing.
It's never a good time going through the border, I always find. But yeah, it is what it is. Shut her down. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
Yes.
Shut her down, talked to the guy, asked us a bunch of questions.
He was easy peasy though.
He was actually, well, I think he saw what we had. I mean, you look in the car, there's nothing there. All you could do is go through the trunk if you wanted to. Did you bring anything? No. How long are you down there? Okay. What did you do? We were out here. Okay. Go to fire it up, the belt's howling because the alternator had fallen off again. So I was like, well, there's 2 options here. So we fired up, the guy looks at us and then just shuts his window.
He was just like, this is not my problem.
So then we're crossing the border, And then the option is either jam or pull into, where they basically ask you to go into like secondary search or whatever it is, where you gotta like, they go through the car and you gotta go in. And it was really well lit, but I'm like, oof, the last thing I wanna do is pull in there, because then it's gonna, like, what are you doing? And it's really not, I don't think those guys take too kindly to, I'm gonna work on my hot rod in your spot here.
But there was, so right across from that though was a bathroom, like a little bathroom parking area.
There was the Welcome to Canada area. So we went over there and belts squealing, howling the whole way. And then there was one light to work under. So I did that, tightened it up, and then we carried on. And it was good until then. I was pissed off, it fell off again. I was like, oh my, I'm done with this. But then the problem was, what?
I know it's coming.
So then the problem is, the second you cross the border, the speed limit through the Dakotas is 80 mile an hour, and everyone's going 85. And that car hauls. And we were doing that the whole way, like 80, 85, things singing like 3,000 RPM, and we were making miles. Like we were rolling. And you cross the border at 65. And it just going from 85 miles an hour to 65, it's like we're going in reverse, and the roads go to crap. And there's construction the whole way, so it's 2-lane traffic.
And so then it's construction.
So it was
speed
down
limit.
to, it was probably 50 miles an hour. So it's just like at the drop of a hat. And of course it's middle of the night, there's no one there. I got a ticket like last summer, like a year and a half ago, and it's been haunting me. Because I got a ticket, and I've been doing good for a while, right before we moved to Alberta. So then I show up in Alberta, so now all of a sudden I have all these cars I'm trying to insure, and I have to show them my driver's abstract, and my, here they have an insurance history. Well, I have none of that here. All I have is a ticket, which ended up being an issue. So as it is, everything's expensive to insure, and it's a fiasco, to say the least. So now I don't want to get another ticket. I'm diligently trying to not get another ticket. So I'm just wanted to be home. So we didn't get home until 4 a.m.
You handled it so well.
I was mad. Oh, was I mad. But anyways, we made her home finally, and we got home at like 4 o'clock in the morning.
And what happened? I said, why don't you go to bed? Why don't you go get into bed?
Is that what I did?
I'll unload the whole car and order McDonald's, and I'll bring it to you in bed. So then that's what we did.
Oh yeah, that was a good time. Except the wrong McDonald's order.
Yeah, it was crazy. And I actually felt bad for whoever ended up getting our McDonald's order, because all ours was like 2 cheeseburgers and an order of fries, and
we got like 4 drinks
not even
and Big
drinks.
Macs and all sorts of stuff. So
yeah, we literally got like a family's meal, which we threw most of it out because we were going to eat it.
Unfortunately, it wasn't a delivery guy, because the bag
had our order,
but not that was not in the bag.
Yeah.
So whatever, it was what it was. But then we crashed, and yeah, woke up the next day. And then I don't think we filmed any of it, but the rest of it was a fiasco as well.
It was one of those things where like
that was a rough day.
You do all this driving and you're in a different country, and so all you're wanting and like all of your vibes are going to, please just let this car make it home, let it make it to the destination, let us be safe and have a good time.
That car did fine. That
car was great. And so then you're not expecting though when you come home for everything else to be a schmozzle. It was like we used up all of our car guide karma on getting there and coming home safely. And then when we got home, karma was like, well, time to pay.
We were home for 1 day before we caught a flight here, like back to Alberta. And man, so we had cleaned out the garage, the old, like the garage, we sold the house, and possessions actually right away here, so it's basically gone. So I want everything gone so we don't have to go back one more time. So the garage is, there's not one thing in there, the house is down, everything is taken care of, except the 71 Nova is sitting in the garage, sitting there.
Which is fine, because you were driving it around a couple weeks ago when you were in town, like, not a big deal.
The whole plan was I put that thing together out here, it was mint, drove it out there, and then it's just turn the key, enjoy a hot rod. So I was doing that. Well then, it won't start. Well, no spark, no happy, trying to change it all.
Well, and that was the Monday when we were leaving.
Yeah, in the morning.
Because you fired it up on the Sunday night.
Yeah, I was gonna drive it Sunday. Nothing's going. I have
we have
no
to catch a plane
there.
in 4 hours.
So I was so mad, I just put it in gear. I bridged the neutral safety and just the starter around the block until we drove it right in the garage.
Hey, and then I helped push it in.
No, you didn't.
Yes, I did. I was literally pushing it up the driveway.
Oh, really? I was just on the starter. And then smacked in the Chevelle on purpose, and then I was done. And I left it there, and then we were gonna go move your 57 Chevy. That thing's been sitting for a year now. And then go to fire it up, float stuck, geyser of fuel, just, oh, it was, everything there went sideways. I don't understand that, but it's kind of, it made me think, like we have a lot of cars, we were doing the math, we still have 11 or 12 cars in Manitoba, plus what we have here, plus what I'll buy today, but it's like, we have too many cars, and it's not that we have too many cars, I can deal with them all, but now it's, even though they were sorted cars, not driving them is causing issues, because they don't like to sit. Cars don't like to sit, they like to be driven. And like your car, not that it was perfect, but it was absolutely hop in, drive it for dinner, no issues. I mean, it had rattles and stuff like that.
But I was driving it to work every day.
It was fine.
Before you moved.
It was fine, drove it to the storage unit, and then it was...
Which actually surprises me, because the last time when we drove it to the storage unit, I drove it a few times, like that year or whatever, but not to the extent that I did last year. And at that time, it fired right up and went. So I was surprised this time that
just the way it goes. I mean, I put stable and everything. I do all that sort of stuff. We disconnect the battery. I mean, it started up fine.
Yeah.
But it had old gas in it. And it's just, I mean, the flow sunk. So it's not the end of the world, but take the carburetor apart, clean it, put it back together, and it's just frustrating. And then, of course, the brakes are going to be all, you know, crusty and like all these little things.
And if you were there, it wouldn't be a big deal.
Well,
you go home for the night, come back the next day and deal with it. But when you're not there and you only have a limited amount of time, because we also had to park the 64 in the C can and like move the other Nomad and just like a bunch, and we had to move the Chevelle in the garage over to fit the other Nova in the garage, like.
This is gonna sound really tough problems, guy.
Must be nice.
Must be nice problems. But I mean, that black Nomad, it's sat now for a year, hasn't run. And I mean, that thing, we put a pile of miles on, put a pile of money into it, drove it a bunch, and then just sat. Blue Nomad, same thing. I didn't drive hardly any Nomads this year. What does my life come to? No Nomads. So those just sat. Your 57 just sat. It wasn't happy. You know, and I mean, I drove the Nova. That was a one-off. Something has happened. I don't know what it is, and we just didn't have time to figure it out. So
because you changed the distributor.
I changed the distributor. That wasn't it. It had spark in the end. It had gas. I don't know. I was mad. I was at the end of this long road trip. We had to go. It was just whatever. It was what it was. I'll deal with it later. And you know what it's going to be? It's had I walked inside, sat down, had a Coke, watched a TV show, and come back out, I would have fixed it. But we didn't have time.
No.
And that's when you have to fix it, it's never fun. So whatever, that one will be fine. It is what it is. I'm not really too worried about it. But yeah, out here, I mean, we drove the Ratty 55, we drove that 56 truck, started driving the Monte Carlo a bunch. You know, like it's just, and no, I drove the Nova actually a bunch out here. But you can really only justify driving, I mean, 5 or 6 cars to have insured at one point in the year is kind of a lot, I think. Like, I think we put a decent number of miles on, but even if you're like a hot rodder through and through and you're gonna put, let's say 10,000 or 15,000 hot rod miles, and we only have half the year, that's the other thing. I mean, it's, you know, we have winter, which I guess we drive some stuff in the winter, but not the majority of things, 1 or 2 cars. So now if you have like, you're putting 10,000 miles on, if you divide that between 5 cars, that's only 2,000 miles a piece. Like that's not really that's like a few tanks of gas per car when you kind of start doing that math versus getting one car and just really driving it. So I'm really coming to terms with that. I don't know what the answer is, unfortunately.
Have you told that to yourself when you're on the couch looking at Marketplace?
Oh, I'm addicted to cars. There's no way around that one. And then the flip side is we have to make these dang videos. It's really, I put myself in a predicament.
A very privileged predicament.
Oh yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but just, it's one of those, you eat steak every day, you get tired of steak, you know?
Yes.
Are the cameras still good? Are we okay?
Yeah, I'm just making sure they're
I'm doing a
good.
quick scan. So I don't know what I'm gonna do there, and that's a funny one, because I also don't want to be that guy that just hoards these cars. because that's not the plan.
Well, and that's very much what we speak against.
I've always hated that.
often.
I've always and realistically, I guess at the end of the day, every car was like this, a left for dead, rotten frame, whatever it is. So even if we fix it, it sits, it's still
better than it was.
It's not like we brought some mint car that was a really good deal and we took it or stole the deal from someone else and then now we're not using it. Because at the end of the day, it was sitting there rotted. Like anybody could have had it. They're 9 times out of 10 we get stuff off Marketplace or wherever it is and we just go and enjoy them. So I guess I don't have that feeling of being bad. It's more just...
Well, it's like my 57, how it's just sitting. Like that's sad because that was a good car. It's running, driving.
It was a big part of the channel. Yeah, like that's a good, and now it's just sitting there and whatever. And not that it's, I mean, at the end of the day, you bring it home, if you spend a week on it, it's not like it's sitting in a bunch of grass and it's rotted away or whatever. It's sitting outside, it's got clear coat on it, it is what it is, it has coolant in it, it's got nothing for a motor transmission. The battery went in, it was fine. I mean, a 57 Chevy has a drain plug on the tank, you can literally pull the plug, drain the fuel out, put a new fuel filter in, take the carburetor apart, clean it, put it back together.
It's done.
Do an oil change, and then fix whatever little things it needs. Put a set of plugs in it, and it's probably gonna be fine.
Yeah.
So in that, I guess, aspect, it's not terrible. It's just kind of funny that, I always wonder how like this car here went from, it had its last drive. And I wonder if people knew it had its last drive. Or if it was just, they came home, put it in park in the driveway, and then...
it just happened.
Now, because the paperwork we had from it was from the 80s. So it was all of a sudden, this guy was driving it to work and then, came home and got a new car. And then it sat for 40 years and someone pulled the motor out or someone did this. And then, we need the garage space, it goes to the driveway. And we need the driveway space, so it goes to, Bill on the farm. And then, he needs the space by the shed, so it goes out in the field and then it rots.
Yeah.
And I just wonder, I realize there's a few steps along your 57 Chevy going from sitting in a storage unit and the float's stuck to the floor's rotted out of it and it's junk. But it feels like it's probably a bit of a slippery slope. And I think everyone's probably seen that or done it themselves or bought a car that has happened where it was just a running, driving car. And I always think that about everything. All these cars were just running, driving cars. Like we have the frame sitting behind us, which
was something.
57 Chevy, seamless frame. And I'm like, so what happened? Like, was the thing in an accident? And the frame didn't get tweaked because it's in good shape. It's not rusty. So did the car rot out, but the frame wasn't? Like, what's the story?
Or did someone just decide they wanted something different, or?
Nowadays you could justify if you had like a clean car, maybe that frame would come out in like a Roadster Shop chassis or something fancy would go in there. Okay, maybe. But a lot of this stuff, that's pretty modern things and bucks up ways of doing stuff.
Well, and was it also one of those things where people, because at a time they were so readily available, it didn't matter if you took out a frame and chopped it up or did whatever, right? Because you're like, oh, well, there's hundreds of thousands of these. What does it matter if I do this to mine, right? And I think that a lot of hot rods have fallen into that category where back in the day when people were maybe first modifying their classic car, they're like, well, there's so many, I'll do whatever I want, and then if I need a piece, I'll find a piece. But now everyone has needed a piece and found a piece. You can't get these bits and baubles anymore. I guess
it's just one of those things, like, I get that side of it, but it's also like, for as long as I've been into old cars, they've always been a classic old car. Like, I never wasn't like, it wasn't like it was just an old car. It wasn't like a 10-year-old car.
Yes.
Which I get that. It's a 10-year-old car, 15-year-old car. If right now we're talking about 2005 or 2010 anything, and someone's like, I'm just going to put it in the field, I'd be like, yeah, it makes sense. It's got to be a pretty unique car to care about it. But when you're talking about something from the 50s, and I was buying cars in the 2000s, like it was still old, 40 years old type thing. Like it's past that. It was a classic. And I also think these cars, maybe not all of them, but a 57 Chevy two-door hardtop was always a nice car. So I get it, for the first 10 years or 15 years it just became whatever. But the second the 20-year, 25-year thing, it was now a classic. And I think it was a nice one versus like, a 53 Chevy, which is still a fine car, don't get me wrong, but didn't have the same draw
Presence.
as a Tri-5 Chevy, or a little bit later when you go into like Camaros and Chevelles and all those sort of things. Like it's kind of unique, but yeah. Why do we get talking about that? I'm having a crisis here about my cars.
A crisis of conscience, I guess.
No, I don't know.
It was funny when you were talking about like when did this thing know its last drive? Was its last drive? And I had a moment of that with the Chevy too, when we were taking it to the storage unit or whatever. You were like, well, do you want to drive? I was like, well, no, I'll drive the Caprice, because I never get to drive the Caprice, so I wanted to drive the Caprice. And then we're driving. Like, I'm following you to the storage unit. I'm like, well, that would have been my last drive of the Chevy 2 for the
You got
for
to drive
the
it
year.
into the C-Can, though.
So
That
I'm
was pretty
like,
fun.
I was sad that I missed out on like my last drive, and sometimes you just don't think about how it could be your last drive of something.
I tell you, I was happy
Well,
to be
you were
my
ready.
last drive.
You were
I
ready
drove
for your last
every
drive.
one of them miles.
In my defense, I offered to drive many times, and I also did not sleep once in the car.
There was some videos of you headphones on, blanket on, watching a movie.
Once, from Medicine Hat
People don't
till
forget, Danielle.
wherever in Saskatchewan,
People don't
I watched
forget.
an episode of 90 Day Fiancé. Okay?
Okay.
So don't pretend like you were doing all this on your own.
I was Iron Man in it. But yeah, no, I guess I'm glad to be done that. And you know what's funny? Today was the first day where it felt like winter.
Yes, it was cold today.
It's cold, it was rainy, and it's like doors are down. Like it's different now. It's just,
Well, the season is officially changing.
it's fall. It's well into
Yeah.
fall here, and we'll have some nice days, we'll have some nice afternoons.
But it's not.
But right now,
consistent.
we're actually just working on that 79 Ford, and I was kind of giving that a once over, but it's
Which we filmed none of.
We filmed yesterday.
Yeah.
Today I worked on it all day and accomplished nothing. So
What do you mean? You drove it down the block.
I guess I was trying to get the brakes working all day and that didn't work, so I had to order.
Oh, they're still not working?
Front brakes do. I don't know what's wrong with the back brakes, so I'll deal with it tomorrow. But I need a big socket to pull it all apart, so that shows up tomorrow. If I get to it, I get to it. If I don't, I don't. But I mean, it runs and drives now. It's, you don't gotta drive that thing a pile of miles. You're yawning on camera with 3 cameras and me here. And you're involved in the conversation. Holy moly.
I'm just listening so hard that I'm tired.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
That was my problem in school. I listened so hard I couldn't pay attention. But yeah, so I mean, it runs good enough that at least at this point, I can bring it around, put it in the garage,
Yes.
we can deal with it, and I don't think we're gonna put a pile of miles on that thing. At this point now, the 55 two-door conversion's probably the car will drive. Mind you, everything is heat now, which is kinda nice. Like the Monte Carlo is heat. The truck doesn't actually, the green truck. The 79 has heat, and the 55 has heat. I think that's all we kind of got going on right now. But I have to feel like it's time to start a brand new project, which is this thing. And I think I'm gonna get that Chevelle 2 weeks from now, maybe. So everyone can stop asking. You gotta pick it up and take it right to the shredder. But so get that thing out here, and I think that's kind of the plan for the winter. Well, into the new year will be this and the Chevelle. And that's where, I guess the next thing we have to talk, and what I've really enjoyed this year was we had a lot of projects that were kind of like done and driving, and then we got to refine them. I actually really enjoyed that. That was kind of a lot of fun. I know some people had some comments about, I just finished something or whatever, and get right to the end. I get it, I hear you, but if you can't relate, then maybe you're not working hard enough on cars, but sometimes you get burnt out on stuff. And maybe cars, not just cars, whatever it may be, you get burnt out on it. And I'm sure everyone has a half-finished project of some sort.
Whether it's your kitchen or your bathroom or whatever.
Yeah, you're in the knitting, you're in your backyard project,
whatever book you're DNRing, like.
Yeah, whatever it is. So that Chevelle is actually kind of nice because as I was looking at it, I actually did a pile of work to it.
Well, you did a whole bunch because the goal with this Chevelle was originally to get it to a point where you could just load it on a trailer and bring it out. Because the Chevelle you bought right before we were moving.
Yeah, I shouldn't have touched it. But anyways, I was looking at it, it's got full floors front to back. It's got wheel tubs done on one side. Actually, I got a call about a quarter panel because I buggered up the 1/4 panel. So I got a call.
How?
I cut it wrong or whatever. These things happen.
Oh.
So I want to order another one while I'm out there and pick it up. Hopefully Reg can get it for me. But I'm going to try and bring that thing back. And it'll be kind of nice to kind of work on that again. And the real ugly work has been done, which is kind of cool, like the cutting out the floor and all that. You're pretending not to yawn. We all saw it.
I don't know why I'm suddenly just like so sleepy. I'm sorry.
So I want to do that, but that's probably, I booked a flight for whatever, your friends are here. So 2 weeks from now, I'm going to economy flight there and then drive a U-Haul back, full of the rest of my stuff and this car by myself. What a fun weekend.
It's going to be a super fun weekend. I'm very excited for my friends to come out.
That's the thing, when everyone thinks, like, the must be nice, and I get it, like, working on hot rods, we're making money off YouTube, we get a deal on parts, like, it is nice, and I don't ever want to say it's not. But then there's our vacation, I still worked. We took Thursday, Friday off of work, of which we drove all day one day. Then it was, really, we kind of did a lot of filming and screwing around.
Well, it was like YouTube work then, so it was...
Yeah, it was YouTube work. And then it was drive all the way back home to then hop a flight to then get here to go right back to work on Monday. Yeah. So it was like, of the 7 days we had left here, I worked physically at my regular job, 3 of them, 2 days of YouTube screwing around, and the rest of it we were in a gasser driving at 3,000 RPM. Yes. So if that's a vacation to you, then okay, but that's the reality of it. And then now, her friends are coming out for like a little long weekend from Winnipeg, which is great. So I kind of was like, well, if they're here, we're probably not gonna do a lot of filming. I'll be on my own in the garage anyways. I might as well go get that Chevelle. The weather's not going to get any nicer. Like if I don't get it now I'm driving we're already at the point now where there's equal amounts of daylight and night. And I prefer driving during the day. It's going to get cold, all these things. So if I don't get it now, I'm probably not going to get it.
Yes.
So now I'm going to work all week and then spend my weekend, wake up Saturday morning early, hop on a flight, go immediately from the airport to the U-Haul, home, load the thing up, maybe sleep, and then hop in the truck and then drive all the way back, which is a 14-hour drive, probably at least with that unit I'm going to be in, to then dump it off to then go to work on Monday. So I don't want to complain, but there is a lot more to the glamorous YouTube lifestyle.
Well, and I think that's a good point, because I think a lot of people forget, and even like other people who are doing YouTube and getting into YouTube and stuff, like I think it's easy to be like, oh yeah, I'm just gonna like work on my car and that's it. But there is so much more to it, especially now that everybody is on YouTube. Like it's so saturated. So like if you're not working on stuff and if you're not kind of pushing yourself, I think it becomes a lot harder to like stay motivated.
It's tough. You got to force yourself some days. So I mean, I don't think anybody wants to drive. Nobody wants to fly and then drive 14 hours after loading a car in a U-Haul van with no cruise control like that. I don't care who you are. That sucks. That's not fun. It's not terrible. There's worse ways to spend your life, I guess. Again, that's the worst day I have this month. Not too bad.
Doing okay.
I can't really complain, but it's still. You're giving up the day for that. So that'll be the plan. Before I do that, I do want to start working on this, because this thing I haven't broken the seal yet, and I'm struggling to get motivated. But I think maybe tonight.
Well, this week we took a lot of we were so exhausted from that trip, so we took a lot of days away from the garage. It was also my birthday.
Well, Monday was a write-off, and then Tuesday. I think I did nothing on Tuesday.
We did nothing on Tuesday.
Wednesday was your birthday.
We didn't get home Monday until like 8 o'clock.
Yeah. Wednesday was your birthday. Thursday was something. I was waiting on parts for stuff. And then last night, or yesterday, I was out of town for work, but then I got home in the afternoon and then worked all night in the truck. So, I mean, really, I guess, we took 3-4 days off, but still, I don't feel rested. And then today was, a run around of going to get parts to screw around to ultimately accomplish nothing. So I think I got to get some Tri-5 therapy under my belt here.
Go back to what you know.
Well, I gotta take this thing apart. So behind it is the bare frame, which has been sitting there for a while. That video actually just came out on that, but it's been sitting there for probably 2 or 3 weeks now, which I haven't done anything to. Unfortunately, I've been waiting on parts, so I put a big Speedway order in, and I ordered a 4-link kind of kit, which I think would be kind of neat for that, and it was back ordered, and I think it just showed up. Here's the other problem I deal with. Again, it's a real complainy episode here, but so some stuff that, a lot of places deal with, we run into this all the time, no matter who you order from. If it's factory shipped, a lot of times the factory doesn't ship to Canada. So if you get something, body panels are famous for that. So you go on, pick your big website, and if you put in a Canadian address, it won't ship it. So what Speedway will do, which is fantastic, is they'll ship it to them, and then they'll ship it to me, because they do ship to Canada. Unfortunately, the manufacturer of the 4-link kit, they were out of stock, back order. They finally got it. It then shipped from them to Speedway, and Speedway got it either supposed to get it Friday or maybe Monday. Then they got to package the order and then send it to me. So it's this kind of relay race. So I got to start working on that. I have no interest working on the frame. It's so boring. Like it's just not calling my name, because I have to take it apart, wire wheel it, paint it, and
Tedious.
then but I do want to do that. Originally I was going to swap the body onto that frame, but I think this frame's actually fine. I thought it was all cattywampus, like it was twisted, but I think what the problem is I had jammed, it has a broken leaf spring in the back, and my fix to it was jamming a 4x4 block between the frame and the axle.
Right.
And I think that's what's making it look all crooked. So the car is actually still straight. And
The frame's pretty rotted though, like.
It's rotted, but it's still all bolted to everything. It's fine. And the floor is actually in nice shape. You could actually patch this floor, but.
Yeah.
So I think what I'm going to do is I want to take the whole front clip off, get all the exhaust, all that junk off, bumpers off, fuel tank out, everything that's attached, I'll take all that stuff off. And I think I'd like to do the rockers on it, both sides, so that's sturdy. And then I might just slip the floor in and give it a couple of tack welds, and then the body will be strong. And then I might weld a little bit of bracing, and I probably got to take the interior out of this thing too, if I care about it. So I got to do that.
So wait, are you changing the frame or no?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to switch the body onto that frame and then start doing all the floors and stuff. I think I'll just do it on this, and that way the body is sturdy. Which people do anyways. They take the body off rotted, they'll put a floor pan, all that in. I just want to have it on the other frame to make sure all the bolts line up.
Yes.
So nothing's twisted, but it should be fine. I just got to start doing that. Unfortunately, it's going to be like
tedious,
boring.
It's
2 days of plasma cutting and grinding all the rusty junk out, and the garage is actually kind of clean.
Well, you did a good job cleaning it before.
And it's about to be a disaster, which that sucks.
Well, and it's kind of tough too, because you're going to have to clean it again before you go, so that you can put the Chevelle in here.
Chevelle will be just outside.
Oh, will it?
Yeah, she can sit. She can sit out there. No, so the Chevelle will be out there, but that's, again, I do want to have that so I can get this thing on that rolling chassis. So that'll be cool. And then the Chevelle is on a chassis as well. And both can move with the tow truck.
Yes.
So if I want to put one on the lift, or I want to work on one here, because I think that's what will probably happen, like where the camera is, I can put the car and put it sideways, at a bit of an angle, and I have lots of room to get around it. Yep. And then this will have lots of room there. So that'll be kind of the two main projects. And then I do want, actually the Model E is probably not on camera here, but I haven't worked on that at all.
Yeah, we just dropped the motor in it, and that was it.
So I made a list of everything I want to get. So I'm going to make another order for that as well. That I can. That's a long-term project. That's what I'm kind of getting to, though. Is it's kind of nice now we have more than enough cars to drive, more than enough cars to drive long distance, more than enough cars to drive daily. We don't need more cars. So, and I guess that's kind of the funny part for me. It's like we put these together. It's not like it's a rush. Oh, we got to get this thing together for power tour or whatever, because there's 4 cars sitting in the back with the keys in them. We could hop in and give it a once over, put a toolbox in the back, and we're sailing.
You have to make another toolbox cup holder, by the way.
I think a few of those.
We left it in.
Well, I got to go. When I go to Chevelle, I'll bring it back.
Oh.
But realistically, the yellow Nova, I know it's not running now, but that thing we could drive anywhere.
Yeah.
Chevy 2 obviously drive anywhere. The black Nomad drive anywhere. The blue Nomad drive anywhere. Quit trying to pretend like you're not going to yawn.
I don't know it's because I'm cold.
The two-door conversion, drive anywhere, like those, and really like your 57's pretty reliable. There's so many cars.
Yes.
I do, and the other thing on top of these, I do want to go through the blue two-door conversion car.
Yeah.
And change a bunch of stuff.
It's funny to me how that two-door conversion car, you went from not wanting to drive it at all to being constantly excited
I love that
about
car. Oh my
driving it.
God, I love that car. So actually, part of the Speedway order was a new rear end for it. So I'm going to spend more money under that car than
You paid.
oh my God, by far. But I'm going to put a 9-inch in it because which is good because that rear end actually I can put in something else. It's kind of like this, game. So that'll be sweet. And then I think I'll put that blower motor. It's actually in the Model A in that thing. The blower motor Model A is cool, but I've accepted the fact that that's just not what I want to do. I think I just want a regular small block Chevy in there.
You saw lots of varieties of Model A's when we were at that Cars and Coffee.
And I think, you know what, a Model A, people can make them fast, and people can do all sorts of things with Model A. What I want is just like a cruiser you can have fun with, and to me it's just small block Chevy, multiple carburetors, like lake pipe or Lakester headers, whatever they are out the side, chopped. That's what I want. Bi-sply tires. Doesn't matter if it's fast in a straight line.
You have many cars to go fast.
Yes, exactly. So I don't need that. And at the end of the day, you can change the motor and that thing, it's fine. Also, it's going to weigh so little that like less horsepower will seem faster.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it doesn't need, I'm going to assume that thing's like 400 horsepower, give or take. It doesn't need that. Like a bone stock 200 horsepower small block Chevy is probably fine in that thing. So it's also, if I make it a stick, it's going to be tight to shift. Like it's going to be hard to drive. So we have all that stuff loaded, ready to go for it. And then I'm toying with the idea of another proper stick shift Tremec conversion. That was a lot of money when we did it 2 or 3 years ago, but I loved driving that car. So we might break the bank on that one, but then I think it would be hilarious to drive a 55 Chevy with a supercharger and a stick and a 9-inch in the wintertime. Just me? And it's got like these like 31-inch tall Mickey Thompson tires, so I already ordered a set of like truck tires for it, so I'm just gonna put a set of truck tires in the back, I'll put some Blizzaks in the front, and then just
Ka-chow.
have a good time. So I think that's what I'm going to do there. So, and then obviously the Model A can get some love. So I think that's kind of our projects going into winter. Only 4. There's a couple of cars on Marketplace that got saved, which I'm struggling with. Once that house sells and we get a little bit of money in the bank, it's really going to be a problem.
That money is already spent.
Yeah, well, maybe. We applied for permits for building out back. That's pretty exciting, so hope that goes well. Just it'll be a cold storage building for the first bit, because that's all we can afford.
A cold storage building for the first 5 years.
Yeah.
And then once we save up again.
Yeah, they're not giving buildings away at this point, but whatever. That'd be cool to have just everything out of the elements for once. That'd be kind of neat. But yeah. What else we got going on? How many minutes are we in?
I think that's kind of it for today.
38 minutes, although we do 45.
We do whatever I say
Why
we do.
don't you contribute 7 minutes for once?
I don't think they want to hear the 7 minutes I would contribute.
What else do we do?
That was it.
No, there's 7 more minutes of content here somewhere, Danielle. You got to put one more ad in, you got to plug the merch, you got to do all those things that you like to do. People, at this point now, people can complain about what ads have been in and the amount there are and how many there were. And you know what? My advice is YouTube Premium. I pay for it. It's fantastic. Danny could an ad in every 30 seconds, but YouTube Premium, you don't watch them. And you get YouTube Music. Brought to you by YouTube.
Wow, okay.
I love YouTube. It drives me nuts when people complain about it. It's a business. They're out there to make money. I totally understand that every dollar that we generate, they take half or whatever the number is. But you know what? We're getting 50 cents, and if we were putting this up on Dan's own website, it would be making 0 cents
Well, it's
probably.
50 cents more than we ever thought we were going to make.
Yeah, no, exactly. So I just think it's funny when people do kind of complain. And even for the viewer, it's a platform now that if you have an email address, You can log in and watch basically anything you want
Whatever you want.
for free if you watch commercials. And if you don't want to watch commercial, I think it's $12.
Yeah.
Or something like that, or $10, whatever the number is. Like, it's like the best streaming service there is. Anyways, that's my little.
Did you have like an unknown deal with YouTube I don't know about? You're just like sing.
No, I have the same deal with YouTube as everyone else does here. That if you have a YouTube account where you watch this and you have your username, you can also upload. We have this. You can upload video and make the same amount of money as we do. That everything is the exact same, and I think that's awesome. Everyone's on the exact same playing field.
Well, so when we were at Speedway, we met Austin's Automotive.
Oh yeah.
And like he was just telling us he just got monetized or whatever and is doing his videos and stuff, and like whole family's in there, like they're just having a good time and they're enjoying it. And I actually just like, I'm really rooting for them.
Well, I think anyway, you should root for everybody. I love that. Like the biggest YouTuber, Mr. Beast, started off the same thing as we did. I mean, Derek's the guy when it comes to automotive YouTube. He started with the same exact thing that everyone on here had.
You do start with an equal playing field.
Yeah, everyone's on the same thing. And you look at where they are, you're like, oh my, they are mountains away from us, but yeah, everyone started in the same spot. That's kind of how it is, which I think is very cool. So anyways, hopefully you enjoyed it. There's probably an ad between that rant. But we appreciate your pennies. So thank you so much for watching. And are we going to take this apart, or is this a tomorrow thing?
I feel like it's a tomorrow thing.
Maybe
Personally.
Sit around for a bit.
Because I need to edit this now so I can put it out for the people that are watching it today.
Oh, so you're welcome. That's what you're saying. All right, thanks for watching. We'll see if I get back to this tonight, which you won't see anyways for a couple weeks, but just know when this video comes out.
But you guys will see it on Facebook.
Oh yeah, plug the Facebook, Danielle. All right, we'll see you later.